Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. I can go anywhere, friends to know and ways to grow, a reading rainbow. I can be anything. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow, a reading rainbow, a reading rainbow, a reading rainbow, a reading rainbow.
Amelia Bedelia Goes Camping by Peggy Parish and pictures by Lynn Sweet. This is going to be part 1. "Hurry up, Amelia Bedelia," called Mr. Rogers. I'm coming, said Amelia Bedelia. "Did we get everything?" asked Mrs. Rogers. "I would say so," said Amelia Bedelia. "Good," said Mr. Rogers. "It's time to hit the road." "Hit the road?" asked Amelia Bedelia. "All right." She picked up a stick, and Amelia Bedelia hit the road. "Stop that!" shouted Mr. Rogers. "Get into the car." Amelia Bedelia got into the car. "I'm so excited," she said. "I've never been camping." "You will have fun," said Mrs. Rogers. They rode for a long time. Finally, Mr. Rogers stopped the car. "Wake up, Amelia Bedelia," said Mrs. Rogers. "This is it." Amelia Bedelia looked all around. "But where's the camp?" she asked. "The camp is in the car," said Mr. Rogers. "In the car?" said Amelia Bedelia. "We are going to camp in the car?" "The things we need to make the camp are in the car," said Mr. Rogers. "Make the camp?" said Amelia Bedelia. "We have to make the camp?" "Just forget it," said Mr. Rogers. "I'll put the tent here. We can pitch it later." "All right," said Amelia Bedelia. "Now let's have some fun," said Mr. Rogers. "Let's catch some fish." "I've never caught fish before," said Amelia Bedelia. "Is it like catching a ball?" Mr. Rogers laughed. "It's more fun," he said. "I'll show you how." "Did you bring any cookies?" asked Mrs. Rogers. "Yes," said Amelia Bedelia. "I made up a new kind." Amelia Bedelia got the cookies. "Chocolate," said Mr. Rogers. "My favorite." He took a bite. "They are so crunchy," he said. "That's the potato chip," said Amelia Bedelia. "I do love potato chips. I put in a whole bag. I call them chocolate chip cookies." Mr. and Mrs. Rogers looked at each other. "Call them what you like," said Mrs. Rogers. "Just make them often." "Bring them along and follow me," said Mr. Rogers. "Let's find a good fishing spot." They walked along the bank. After a bit, Mr. Rogers stopped. He looked at the water. "This looks good," he said. Amelia Bedelia stopped. "I see one! I see a fish!" she said. "I'll catch it." "Wait!" said Mr. Rogers. But Mr. Rogers was too late. Amelia Bedelia was in the water. Here, fishy," she called. Then she grabbed the fish. "I caught it," she yelled. "What a big one," said Mr. Rogers. Miss Amelia Bedelia looked at the fish. The fish looked at Amelia Bedelia. "All right," said Amelia Bedelia. "Away you go." The fish swam away. "Amelia Bedelia," yelled Mr. Rogers. "Why did you do that?" Amelia Bedelia looked surprised. "Why not?" she said. "You just said to catch a fish. I did that." "Oh, go away," said Mr. Rogers. "Thank you," said Amelia Bedelia. "I am wet. I do need to change." Amelia Bedelia started to leave. "Oh, Amelia Bedelia," said Mrs. Rogers, "please start a fire in the grill. Use pine cones to start it." said Mr. Rogers, "and put on some coffee." "All right," said Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia walked to the car. She changed into dry clothes. "Now," said Amelia Bedelia, "I'll surprise Mr. Rogers. I'll pitch that tent." She walked over to the tent. "Shoot," said Amelia Bedelia, "I can't even lift it." "Need some help?" said someone. Amelia Bedelia turned around. "Who are you?" she asked. "I'm Harry," said one boy. "I'm Mike," said the other boy. "I'm Amelia Bedelia," said Amelia Bedelia. "Amelia Bedelia," said Harry, "we've heard about you." "You have," said Amelia Bedelia. "That's nice. Now will you help me pitch this tent?" "Where do you want to pitch it?" asked Mike. "The big thing is to pitch it," said Amelia Bedelia. "It can come down where it wants to." The boys grinned at each other. "Okay, let's do it," said Harry. They caught hold of the tent. They all picked it up, and they pitched that tent. "Hooray!" said Amelia Bedelia. "We did it!" "Maybe we should pitch it again," said Mike. "Why?" said Amelia Bedelia. "It's in the bushes," said Harry. "That's a good place for it," said Amelia Bedelia. "It's out of the way." "Hey," said Mike, "Mom is calling us." "Thank you for helping me," said Amelia Bedelia. She watched the boys go. "I'd better get that fire started," said Amelia Bedelia. She got some wood and pine cones. She put them in the grill. "Live and learn," said Amelia Bedelia. "I didn't know pine cones could start a fire. I want to see this." Amelia Bedelia sat down. She waited and waited, but the fire did not start. Suddenly she jumped up. "The coffee," she said. "I forgot to put on the coffee." She poured the coffee on the pine cones. "Now it should start," she said. And next week we'll figure out if the fire starts.